Time for About Your House, where we bring you a variety of guests from different areas of the trades every Tuesday. Today, Ray's riding solo today. He'll be talking more about put tools in schools, what's on the horizon there. He's also going to be talking about the current state of the trades. It's a State of the Union address, Ray.
Well, actually, we're going to talk a lot about kitchens. This past week has been an abundance of calls about appliances. School started. The season's changing. And what I mean by all that, we'll talk about today on About Your House. Looking forward to it. But a lot of discussion about planning ahead. It's August, the end of August. School started and what have you. Carry on there, Mr. Richardson Cunningham.
Before we get to all that, let's talk about some of the sponsors that help make the show happen. One of them being Queen City Home Store. Queen City Home Store is a family-owned store that's been serving the Carolinas for over 70 years. They're the largest independent appliance retailer in the Carolinas, constantly growing and taking pride in the experience that they offer customers with a knowledgeable sales staff, product selection, and lowest price guarantee. About Your House is also brought to you in part by PutToolsInSchools.org, connecting students to tools of the trades and raising awareness of the many career pathways. And now, here's your host, Ray Terry.
And we can't forget our other sponsors, ABS Insulating here in the Charlotte metro area. That's ABS Insulating and Gutters. I have to throw that in there. As well as Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte. Floor Coverings, you name it, they got it. Mobile showrooms come to you, and don't forget about Kilo.biz, Kilo Exterminating. But today's show, something has really rattled my cage. like that's hard to do. No, actually, this day and time it's become very easy to do. But I don't want to get off on a big rant. But I want to talk about tape measure reading. There's nothing anymore to me in life. Well, for example, let me ask Mr. Richardson Cunningham. Richardson, can you read a tape measure, honestly?
I can read it well enough to get by.
No, you can't. That was a yes or no question. There's my example. That was my primary example, and I'm not putting Richardson under the bus, but it's a yes or no question. I can get by. No, if you can't read the little dots between 1 and 2, or 2 and 3, and so on and so on.
1.5, 1 1/4.
You can see everybody. Now, there's a lot of talk about our education system. A lot of talk. Now, I'm gonna tell you how important it is for all of us to understand what's not happening and how important it is. You hear a lot of talk these days about our kids not knowing how to read, right? Isn't that? I mean, everybody.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I can read.
No, I'm not. I know you can read. But no, honestly, there are students in high schools around the Charlotte metro area and way beyond who can't read. But you know what? I would venture to say most people, the vast majority of our people, our population can count to 100. Hey, Richard, what do you think? I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, everybody can count to 100.
Pretty much every child can count to 100, right?
For the most part, unless they're on the spectrum or something.
Yeah, but
even a lot of them can too.
Exactly. You can count to 10 or you can count to 100, basically.
Right.
Matter of fact, I haven't ran across any child in schools that can't count to 10, okay, or 100, really. So got that one down. So I mean, really, we got it down. However, they can't read a tape measure between 1 and 2 and the fractions. Now, to me, a lot of people would say, why is that so important? Because everything you do with your hands, critical thinking in mind, require planning. Planning. Any task you accomplish with your hands, your mind, has to be planned, and to a degree of how much measurements, how many fractions, how much 7/8, 5/8, 3/16. You get the point. For example, here in the past 4 months, I have worked with a lot of kids and a lot of adults. And this past week, or couple of weeks, it's been really brought to my attention about how weak our overall population is on tape measure reading.
At least we can all play recorders, though, right?
Yeah, and you know what? This
they-
thing,
I
this
think they
thing-
still teach that.
This thing can't read a tape measure either. It really can't. You know, now there might be apps on here that measure for you. I'm not sure, but I know one thing: you really can't mess up knowing how to read a tape measure. Either you know how or you don't. Now, I bring this up because just 2 weeks ago, kitchen. I'm going to talk a lot about kitchens and why. School's in. Hey, kids, welcome back to school. The schools are opening everywhere. Charter schools, private schools, public schools. This week is the opening of school. Our school year, 2026 through 2027 school year is upon us. And you know, in Charlotte, I can only speak for Charlotte metro area because this is where I live. This is where I have lived my whole life. And it's come to my attention, like, duh, summertime in Charlotte is a season in itself. It's vacation season. Kids are out of school season. Our whole environment changes in the summer months around our schools and our students and our youth being bored with needing some activities to do. Wouldn't you agree with that? I mean, you know.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Well, it's important to keep them busy, occupied with activities that use their brain.
Hopefully, instead of these smart technologies and all, and it's very detrimental to our kids that this is their outlet. This is their outlet, and we can talk about that.
I saw something that said that Gen Z is the first generation that is less intelligent than the generation prior.
Oh yeah, they've been dumbed down big time. Oh yeah, our kids. There is no more critical thinking. Look, listen, I don't mean to get off on a tangent. Yeah, I do too, because it's reached critical mass. It truly has. But I am a resource fix-it kind of guy. I want to know what the resource of the problem, where it came from, and what we collectively, as a culture, as a society, can do about things. And when I say it's bad, when you have to order appliances, for example, and I talked about the school year starting in summer is like a different time of the year. Summer's a different season in Charlotte, where the kids are out of school, they're into sports, they're into activities. Some are, some aren't. Some are bored, some have nothing to do, some know how to do nothing but get in trouble, and I understand it. They're victims of their environment. Okay? Well, that's a whole different problem. But as we move through August here, next week, September's upon us. 21st September, we got autumn coming in on us, cooler months ahead. Yep. And the outlook to holidays. In the past week, it seems like my phone hasn't exploded, but it's rang more around appliances. So now that kids are back in school, focus has changed. We're focused more on the home, being back in school, regular meals, cooking, and all that kind of stuff that we do around our houses and our families, with our families. Okay, so we're cooking more, you know. And as we do, one of my sponsors, a primary sponsor, Queen City Home Store, is full of home furnishings, appliances, and what have you. And I work with them very closely, as well as other appliance dealers here in Charlotte. I'm not privy to just one. I'll help anyone and everyone I can to get them stress-free on appliance installations. You know, but here we are. In the past week, I've gotten several calls on installing new ventilation systems, and I want to talk about new appliances in kitchens. Roddy Player's on the show about every 6 months or so. We talk a lot about how important it is to order your appliances correctly. Make sure you get the right product, and yeah, the right price is important. I'm not going to quote the spot, you know, the commercial we run, but they pride themselves at Queen City on giving you the right product, but they can't do that unless you give them the right information. I went out 2 weeks ago to install a vent hood, and I'm at fault here too, so I'll accept some of the blame. And I'm not a big blamer, but hey, you got to look for the resource of the problem once again and fix it. If you make a mistake, the most important part of making that mistake is what you learn from it. If you make a mistake, what did you learn from the mistake? If you don't learn anything, you've wasted your time and effort, because every mistake should be a learning process, okay? Well, all right. We go out, and I say I take my helper with me, and we go out to install this vent hood. We're taking a downdraft vent system, which is a GE downdraft range, goes out the exterior wall right behind it. Why the builder put a downdraft in there when he was on an exterior wall is way beyond me. However, this homeowner says, I want an updraft vent, one that goes below the cabinet, and I want to vent it out the exterior wall right behind it and have a better ventilation system. And now you might ask yourself, well, what's better, a downdraft system or the updraft under the cabinet ventilator? Well, under the cabinet ventilator, it's up higher. It takes the air. It's just a better science, man. Turn the vent hood on above it, and you're going to suck more steam and smoke or whatever, the odors, out of the kitchen. And it just works better. Now, CFM is important, cubic feet per minute. And we're going to talk a little bit about details on the show today about kitchen appliances in general. In today's world, technology is so obviously rampant. I mean, gee whiz, technology has advanced so much. Well, it's no different in appliances. So when you order your appliances, you want to be sure you're buying the product that you need, that's going to function and operate correctly and accomplish the goals that you're buying the new appliances for. And the ventilation in kitchens have become real popular because since COVID, people are cooking more. Thank goodness. I don't know how all these restaurants are staying in business, but I do know there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to cook. They don't know how to cook, because I've done that survey too. And we teach that here at the Toolbox too, how to cook. I asked a gentleman Saturday, came in here, a 34-year-old young man, got some issues, and I asked him, could he cook? He said, I cook breakfast. Well, that's cooking. That's cooking. And he says, well, yeah, but. I said, there is no but. Yes, you can cook, And it isn't worse than burn eggs, right? I mean, if you can cook an egg, you might be a pretty good cook. You might be.
It's half the battle.
Yeah, you might be. I don't know. But at any rate, when you go buy appliances, we went out to install a vent hood. Like I said, we took the downdraft out, put a brand new KitchenAid gas cooktop in, 5-burner, to replace the GE downdraft, and plugged the hole, plugged the vent hole, did what we needed to do, installed. We pulled the new vent hood out of the box to install it, set it up, put the pigtail on it. Pigtail's power cord. Okay, and went to put it in, and guess what? It was 6 inches too short, being a 30-inch. Well, I naturally went nuts and said, I can't believe this. I just cannot believe they sent a 30-inch vent hood out here for a 36-inch hole, but they did. Now, I should have checked the box when I got there.
I'm sure you remained cool, calm, and collected.
No, I was not anything but cool, calm, and collected. I mean, here we were fixing to wrap up the job, put that vent hood in, and be finished with it. Didn't work out that way. But anyway, regardless, there's your prime example of measuring or not measuring. And the homeowner, he didn't know any different, but when he went to buy this new vent hood, the salesperson, and I'm going to just put it where it belongs, he didn't look at the picture, because if you look at the picture, you can tell it's a 36-inch hole because the cooktop is 30-inch, and just by looking at the picture, you can tell one's bigger than the other. Okay, apparently that didn't happen. Regardless, I immediately said that we got to take this back, box it back, get it back. But here's the problem. Queen City, as well as other dealers, appliance dealers in Charlotte, suppliers, vendors, whatever you want to call them, they despise taking vent hood ventilation equipment back, because once the box been opened, it's an open box situation. And I can understand it totally. So therefore, planning the job getting proper measurements is absolutely essential for less stress when you go out to do these jobs. Now, what can you do about it? Get some help. If you're not sure, get some help. Someone that can read a tape measure. Be sure of one. When you buy a vent hood, are you replacing an existing vent hood? And if you are, you want to take measurements of how deep your vent hood is, because sometimes the backsplash will literally go up to it, up to the vent hood, and stop right there, does not go behind it. They put the vent hood in first, so the backsplash goes up to the bottom. And if you go out and purchase a vent hood that's not as deep as that your existing vent hood, well, then you're going to have some wall exposed there. And you don't want that wall exposed there. That's ugly. Got ugly written all over it. You know, you don't want that. So that's something that you want to be planning for or understanding. Get your model numbers. Check, go online, put that model number in Google, and it'll come right up. Be it a Zephyr, be it a GE, be it a Whirlpool, be it a KitchenAid, Wolf, Viking. I don't care what the brand. You need to check these things. You need to make sure the ductwork's compatible. Some vent hoods vent with 6 inch, some with 7, some with 8, some with 10. All these details are necessary when you're checking or replacing an existing vent hood. I bring this up because here, like I said, we're moving into the holiday season. Yes, I said the holiday season. You need to order your appliances. If you're looking to upgrade, replace, upfit, remodel, you better get on the schedule. It's the end of August. Next Tuesday, September 1st. We're moving into the holiday months. Yes, we are. So you better be planning for it. These appliances must be ordered. Sometimes they're back ordered. You need to be on top of that. And another thing about ventilation, I will mention. Queen City, thank you very much for donating to the Toolbox a 48-inch vent hood, a full core, I think's the name of it, brand, vent hood. Well, I've had that vent hood now about 4 to 6 months, and it is funky, meaning it is dirty. Now, when you have a vent hood or ventilation system, you must maintain it. You must keep it clean. There's your maintenance that's required. I've never had a 48-inch vent hood in my cooking class or cooking world, but I do now, above a Viking 48-inch professional cooktop, which is absolutely outstanding, and I enjoy cooking on it. But I'm going to have to clean my vent hood. Everybody needs to clean and maintain your ventilation system. I replaced one last week that was approximately, it was a downdraft, Thermador, and it was approximately 6, 7, 8 years old. I don't know how old exactly because time flies when you're having fun. But I put that rascal in when it was brand new. And I got to take it out when it was about 8 years old last week. And it was dirty. I mean dirty, dirty. Cooking requires dirt.
Yeah, it does.
Cooking is a dirty process. When, you know, I go into these beautiful brand new kitchens all the time. They're so pristine and so clean. Rarely do I go into a kitchen these days where it's dirty. It looks used.
Do you remember the last time you did? Do you remember?
Yeah, last week in that kitchen.
Oh, okay.
It was used. And we replaced the cooktop and the downdraft.
Gotcha.
And made it look new. Now, I put a used, came out of another house telescoping unit in because it looked new. It looked great. And you can't get that you can't get that model. It doesn't exist anymore. So I made it work. No problem. Our customer was happy. It worked fine. Everything was peachy. But maintaining a ventilation system in your cooking elements, you know, it requires maintenance. If you love to cook, which I do, I enjoy cooking a lot, but I am not any different from most people. I don't enjoy cleaning up my cooking apparatus because it's ongoing. Every day you're cooking and every day you're cleaning. So that's the maintenance factor of ventilation system is really, really important, very important. So you need to look at that when you purchase your new system. A lot of people just go on what they think. Well, you need to be aware of the CFM, cubic feet per minute. Is it going to do the job you want it to? Many times I go out and what's in there doesn't have enough power for anything to speak of, no really decent cooking. But then again, there are some brands out there that do a great job with little CFM. It's all a matter, look at the ratings. It works. Just check it out. Whenever I put a vent system in, I check it with the paper towel or magazine page test. You can take a piece of 8 by 11 piece of paper just like this, hold up up under the vent fan, see if it sucks it up. You just see if it sucks it up.
Tutorial.
Yeah, tutorial. Yeah. But anyway, and talking about kitchens in general and the holidays ahead, you need to really think about if you want to replace any appliances now, you need to go ahead and plan on it. I'm telling you, you need to go ahead and do it, because if you don't, you're going to be backed up against the fence come Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, if you hadn't checked lately, is the last Thursday in November, if my memory serves me correctly.
That's correct.
That's not far away. Time flies. Seemed like Christmas was just here. It's here again. Got a plan for it. So, Queen City Home Store. Let me talk about them. Right now, they've got 8 different spots running on commercials. 8 different. Now, I could sit here and play them all and tell you. But what I want to tell you is they're running great specials. Labor Day specials, Labor Day blockbuster specials right now on some Electrolux, GE, LG, Whirlpool. They're running some packages that you can save big on, $4,000. They've got financing. Queen City Home Store right now has got some tremendous buys. Go online, queencityonline.com. Check them out. I've got it pulled up right now. And, or call them. You can call them right now at 704-391-6000. They've got some really, really good buys. And one thing I want to bring up, too, about laundries, laundry appliances. It seems like that there's more and more technology put into these appliances. It doesn't seem like it's a fact.
They last a lot shorter than they used to.
Well,
because they're designed that way so they can get your money. That's my theory.
Great theory, and it seems to be somewhat true, because I'm going out now and installing appliances that are about anywhere from 10 to 15 years old. Back in the day, an appliance would last you 30, 40 years. I mean, really.
We had one that lasted over 20. Both the washer and the dryer. Now you can lucky if you get one that lasts 10.
Well, that's what I wanted to bring. They've got a sale, Labor Day special right now, where you can go buy an Amana washer and dryer, $398 a piece. Now, I'd venture to say those 2 appliances do not have a computer chip. They're old dial style, they're great. They're wonderful, but I would highly recommend if you're looking for a washer and a dryer. And let me tell you, a clothes dryer is a very basic appliance, very basic. It's nothing more than the heater, a drum that tumbles around and around. The hot air tumbles in the dryer. The drum circulates, blows out the vent, and dries your clothes. It's that simple. Now, you got different cycles. You got hot, you got delicate, you got normal.
It's a beautiful thing. I mean, I love it.
It's simple. There's no need to go out and spend $700, $800, $900, or $1,000 on a dryer.
Yeah, you don't need a calculator on there.
No.
Just get a basic one.
You don't need a computer. But if you're drying clothes, now here's a biggie too. Here's a big one. If you're looking to go in there and buy a washer and dryer that you can put all your kids' clothes for the weekend and stick them in there, wrong. And plus, the size of that washer or appliance is bigger than the room will allow. There's another factor in tape measure reading. Before you go buy a washer and a dryer, please measure where it's going. Please understand that it may not fit the new one you buy. If you're looking to upgrade and get more room, it may not fit in the laundry room. The door may not open. You may have some issues around the room being large enough to accommodate new appliances. So be aware of that before you go buy them. They don't want to bring appliances out to your house and have to take them back. But it happens too frequently. It really does. And plus, it's stressful. And somebody's got to pay the piper, because if you hadn't been to the gas pump lately, they don't want to double up on your trips. And that's just an economic situation.
It's highway robbery.
It's ridiculous. But right now, there's some great Labor Day blockbuster specials at Queen City. Go on their website, queencityonline.com, check them out, or give them a call, 704-391-6000. You know, they've got some great buys right now, be it Whirlpool, GE, LG, Frigidaire, Electrolux, and they've got packages available. Check them out. It's a great time to shop. Labor Day's on us. Labor Day what? Monday week?
Mm-hmm.
Monday week, Labor Day. So it's here. School's in. People are cooking, looking ahead to the holidays.
I guess not this Monday, but next. It's Labor
Well,
Day.
right. Not next Monday. Next Monday's the 31st.
Right.
You know. So, cooktops and ranges. I want to talk about cooktops a minute. Technology. If you're looking for great cooking, you know, most people like gas. But once again, I want to bring up a situation around magnetic induction cooktops. They're great. I cooked on one just night before last. I cooked a meal, some stir fry. And induction cooktops are absolutely amazing technology. I mean, it's incredible. You can boil water in a pot, the correct pot on an induction cooktop in less than 90 seconds, 90 seconds. And it's that quick. It's really amazing. You must have the right pots and pans, flat bottoms, inductive cookware. But that's a small investment for a great savings in cooking, because it is tremendous. The speed in which induction cooktops cook in is pretty darn incredible. So I'm just throwing that out there, except you must have a 40 amp typically. That might vary a little bit, but there's another detail that you need to be aware of. You absolutely need to be aware that you need a 30 amp, I keep making a mistake, a 40 amp dedicated circuit, 220, to power up an induction cooktop. But it's something, if you have electric and you can't afford to get gas run to your house, or it's not available and you don't want to do propane, you might check into induction cooktops. And they're different manufacturers, all of them make them now, and they're very popular, very available. So once again, I would check it out, definitely. Just the other day, I went into put a vent hood in a house down in Sun City. First time I've been down in Sun City in that capacity. That's a big place. It's like
Where is Sun City?
Sun City's down beyond, I think, Indian Land, South Carolina. Down 521, down 521 toward Lancaster. It's a little town, actually, is what it is, Sun City. That's what it is, Sun City. But anyway, went down there and installed a vent hood. Well, part of my marking to where I had to duct it, I went up in the attic and looked for my kitchen area. Well, there was a gas line running down that wall that I was on. I said, there you go. So I went and looked in the kitchen. Sure enough, there was a gas line run for a gas cooktop. However, they had an induction cooktop installed instead. So there you go. You know, induction cooking is absolutely a wonderful way to cook. Very fast, very economical. It's just a great cooking. So I want to throw that out there, thinking ahead. If you're looking to remodel your kitchen and you want to consider a faster, easier way to cook, induction cooking is definitely something you need to look at. And nowadays, when you go buy an oven, a wall oven or a built-in oven, or a dual fuel range, if you're into like you want to upgrade to a gas range but yet have an electric convection oven, that's always available. It's what we call a dual fuel, where it's using gas and electric 220 to power your cooking appliance. So these are things you need to think about moving toward Christmas. The holidays are on us. I know it's here we are, end of August. And you say it's not near the holidays. It'll be here before you know it.
If you go to the stores, it seems like it's the holidays.
Really? I hadn't been to them.
Oh, there's Halloween, and some of them have Christmas up. It's crazy.
Well, I tell
It's
you.
August. What are we doing?
Well, we're spending money. That's the one
It's
thing.
a consumerism holiday.
Yeah, you got that right. No question about it. But, I will remind you next week we got a gentleman on here about financial planning and adoption. If you're a parent out there and can't have kids and really want to raise a child, which I honor it enormously, we're going to be discussing adoption next week here on the show. In 2 weeks, on the 8th of September, we're going to have Dr. Kimmy Benton back on the program. Dr. Kimmy Benton, Health is Wealth Day. We've got some great shows coming up here on About Your House every Tuesday. I can't seem to think, get rid of this small amount of congestion I have. We're going to have to go see Dr. Kimmy Benton about that. I'm not a big doctor visitor, but I've had this long enough. I think we need to look into it. At any rate, here at the podcast studio in the toolbox, we got school in session now, and we're going to develop some relationships out here with students and have another podcast every week called Tool Talk at the Toolbox. Tool Talk at the Toolbox. We're going to bring the awareness this year to the many opportunities in the trades using your mind and critical thinking with tools. The toolbox is a place where critical thinking and creativity collide with tools. It's amazing to me how little exposure our students have to creative and critical thinking in our school system today. It's vital for our kids to be exposed to resources that can use their minds and their hands to create, fix, repair, create, imagine, fix. I can go on and on and on about it. But I'll share this with you. Saturday, I had a 17-year-old young man here. I call him a man because he's 6'4", towers over me.
Wow.
Yeah, big fella. I asked him, I had picked up a 20-inch bicycle and a scooter last week from one of my customers.
I saw a bicycle out there.
Yeah, that was it. Well, the tires were flat because it's been under a house for many, many years. Not many, but a few years. Good little bicycle. And we at the toolbox here, we want to recycle and make some kids happy if they don't have a bike, whatever. Well, this one's going to my grandson because where I got it, he insisted that I give it to my grandson and I take a picture with him with it. But anyway, these tires were flat. These tires were flat on the bicycle, and I asked this 17-year-old, do you know how to pump up tires on a car? Well, I don't think so. I think I did it one time when I was a lot younger, but I can't remember what I did. Well, have you ever pumped a bicycle tire up? No, sir. 17 years old, never pumped a bicycle tire up. Do I take things for granted or what? Have you ever pumped up a bicycle tire?
I've pumped up a bicycle tire, yes.
But here we have a 17-year-old, and I said, what do you need to pump up a bicycle tire? Because everything you need's right here in this toolbox. Everything you need's right here. And just 2 weeks ago, we used the tool, the piece of equipment that you need to pump up those tires. Now, what might that be? He said, I don't know. 17-year-old. I said, how about an air compressor? How about the air compressor? And I said, now go find the air compressor. He didn't know what he was looking for. 17 years old. He didn't know. And, I'm not here to begrudge him or throw him under the bus or criticize him whatsoever. It's not my job. My job is to make him aware and let him think on possibilities that might be the compressor. Does that make sense? We didn't find it. And if it was a snake, it would have bit him 2 or 3 times. So I showed him the compressor, told him how to turn it on. Then I said, you need an air hose, don't you? And he says, yeah. I said, well, go find an air hose. Like I said, the toolbox has everything you need in it to create, imagine, fix, repair. and do things with, including pump up bicycle tires. Now, he's the second 17-year-old kid I've had in here. The first one blew up my tire because he didn't know what he was doing. I took for granted he knew what he was doing. That was my mistake. And I heard a big pow-yow. It went out there and he had pumped it up and blew it up. Just popped it because he didn't know any better. So what do? We educate kids. And you would be surprised, folks, how many students are out there today in schools that never have pumped up a bicycle tire. Is that important? I don't know. Is it important? Critical thinking to me is important.
It's a lost thing, though. I feel like people still ride bikes, but kids don't ride them nearly as much as they used to.
Not in America. Over in Europe.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's different.
Oh, it is different. I agree.
It's a whole different culture over there than it is in America.
Yeah, but the toolbox, critical thinking. That's, you know.
You have these electric bikes, too.
Oh, electric bikes.
I see more people on that than
Absolutely.
I do regular one.
Lazy bikes, which
I don't like them.
I've ridden several.
I think it kind of defeats the whole purpose of a bike to me.
Well,
now, it depends on what you're using it for, but
we've become too lazy, that's for sure. Too sedentary, too heavy, too fat.
I like using it for exercise, but that's just me.
Well, I agree with
or to ride to my friend's house when I was a kid to play or something.
Oh, I agree. I think although electric bikes are very popular and very high quality these days. Mary, a girlfriend of mine, she has one, and I've ridden it, and it's awesome. You know, especially when you get up in years and you don't want to put all you got into it. But
I can understand that.
I love riding a bicycle. At any rate, you know, the point is we've got to teach our kids how to fix, how to repair, and how to be self-sufficient. This can't do everything, folks. Can't do everything. Sorry, just can't do it.
It's magic.
Yep. So, I don't know. We got a quandary going on here. I think that's a good word. I don't know, but
sounded good to me.
Back to my idea: tape measure reading and planning. You know, here we are moving into the holidays. If you're looking for a remodeling job between now and the end of the year, you better get with it. The window of opportunity is all but gone. If you're looking to remodel, once again, I will remind you, it's the end of August. September 1 is next week. What, we got 4 months left? Am I correct on that? 4 months left this year?
Mm-hmm.
So if you got a hankering to remodel a bathroom, a kitchen, or any part of your house, well, if it's an add-on, it ain't gonna happen this year, because it'll take you that long to get a permit, or beyond. So you can forget that. It ain't gonna happen this year. But the whole idea in today's show to wake you up and get you moving and make you aware of the time frame here and what's required. Sometimes it'll take up to 2 years to get a new permit to build a house. Up to 2 years in the Charlotte metro area right now.
That's ridiculous.
It is what it is. I'm just here to tell you what's going on, you know. Well, let me talk about my sponsors here. We couldn't do the show and we couldn't support Put Tools in Schools the way we do and attempt to change lives and create a better place for more happiness and more opportunity than the toolbox. And we couldn't do all that without sponsorships and support. We need more support. But I want to thank ABS Insulating. ABS Insulating is a comfort company. When I say comfort, we've gone through a very, very hot, humid August. It's been hot and very humid. Well, we don't fight temperature in Charlotte. We fight humidity. The humidity in summer months. God, I had to pay my power bill last month. Wow. I slipped by and forgot one month, and it doubled up on me. And I said, oh, my goodness. And it was expensive. Yep, got me. But to save those power bills, to cut them down, to minimize them, be the most efficient you can be, you might want to call ABS Insulating and get them to check your house out for an air seal program if it's got any age on it. If you're looking to remodel, add on or add insulation in your attic to increase your efficiency. ABS Insulating. They've got a gutter division that they can come out there and put new gutters on your house or repair what you got. New downspouts, whatever the case may be, that's ABS Insulating. And once again, August, the most humid month of the year. It's a great month to have your crawl space inspected. To me, it's the best month of all to have your crawl space inspected. That in February. Why the two? February is it's the least humid month of the year. Humidity, it's a winter month, obviously it's February. It's typically one of the coldest months of the year, if not the coldest month of the year. It can vary between January and February and the 1st of March a bit, but predominantly February is the coldest month. It's the less humid month, the driest month of the year. That's February. Have your crawl space checked in February, and then have it checked 1 year, have it checked in February, and have it checked in August, and have humidity readouts for the 2 months, and you'll compare. It's the highest in August. And when I say highest moisture readings, let me explain. There's a little device called a moisture meter. The moisture meter has got 2 little plungers on it that'll stick into the wood, and it reads the moisture content. Typically in the month of August, your moisture reading is going to be around 20. Well, that's higher than it's supposed to be, a couple points, but they're going to be around 20. But then go back and check them in February, they can be as low as 12 and 13, way below normal. So check them out, know where your moisture content is, and also check out when it rains, check your moisture, check where the water's going, check your drainage, make sure you got no intrusive water going into your crawl space. And that's the solution. But you will know that if you get your crawl space inspected by Kilo Exterminating, kilo.biz. Give them a call. That's Kilo Exterminating. Been in Charlotte since 1939. 3 generations old. Still family owned, still family operated. Great company, great family values. They're there for one thing, to help you take care of your responsibilities around your house, your largest investment. That's kilo.biz. And let's don't forget Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte. That's Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte. And like I said before many times, don't let the name get in the way. The name Southeast Charlotte, you think they're restricted to an area. No, I don't care where you live, Lake Norman, Lake Rowan County, Iredell County, Gaston County, York County, doesn't matter where you're at, they'll come to you with their showroom on wheels. They got mobile showrooms, great staff driving those vehicles with good knowledge about what you need in your house, be it new stair treads, new engineered flooring, oak hardwood flooring, any kind of species flooring, be it maple, walnut, whatever the case may be. If that's what you're looking for, they got you covered. Luxury vinyl tile, LVT, excuse me, got too many initials there, get tongue-tied. So that's Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte, yourflooringteam.com, yourflooringteam.com. And once again, if you're looking ahead, Queen City Home Store, appliances, you know, there are a lot of appliance dealers in Charlotte. What I'm here today to tell you is plan ahead. Get your measuring tape out. If you don't know how to read one, figure it out. Typically, you're not dealing with, do you know wall ovens? Wall ovens comes in two different dimension cabinets, 27-inch and 30-inch. That's modern times. This past month, we've been searching for an old house situation where I had to find a 24-inch range. We found it. We just got to make a new front to go around it, but we did that too. There again, planning. Planning is essential, so beware. And you're listening today, every Tuesday. We do a live podcast on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and we're downloaded, and we used to do a show on Fox Sports Charlotte. Well, that's gone. So if you're looking at us now and looking for Saturday About Your House entertainment, it's gone by the byway, and I'm not even going to bring it up after this week at all. Our podcast studio is located in the Toolbox in North Charlotte, North Carolina, Charlotte Metro. We're looking for a great new school year where their students to perpetuate growth, raise the awareness of the many opportunities there are in the home improvement industry, working with your hands, your mind, critical thinking, in the electrical, plumbing, carpentry, flooring, drywall, painting, concrete, masonry, welding, all the trades. We have exposure up here at the toolbox so we can put tools, ideas, and possibilities into students' minds to create a more purpose-filled, successful life ahead. It needs to be done. The school system, we've developed a relationship. We're in the process of developing a strategic relationship with CMS, Charlotte-Mecklenburg School System. We're going to make it go. We're working with other nonprofits in the area, bringing kids into the toolbox here, getting them exposed to tools, to measuring. You know, earlier I was talking to Richton here, and I speak of measuring tapes. Most kids, most everyone can count to 100. We would agree with that. 100. They can't all read a paragraph, but they can count. Well, if you can count to 100, but you can't read a tape measure, the problematic area is between 1 and 2, right? Mm-hmm. The little dots, which typically equal a 16th, 1/16. You know, and I had a discussion with my son yesterday about my grandson. You know, I said, "Are you working with him on a tape measure?" He said, "Yeah, I'm on it every day. We're hitting it." Now he's 4 years old. He'll soon be 5 in October. And I venture to say by the time he's 6, am I bragging? Yes, sir, I am. I want my grandson to know how to read a tape measure, to build things and use his mind, because that is an education. Knowing how to build, how to construct, how to fix, how to repair will get your brain working in a critical thinking pathway that nothing else can supply you with other than hands-on involvement, engagement. The only time we learn as human beings is through application. The only time. So we need to start applying more. We need to teach our kids how to apply knowledge. This ain't it. This is not it. And we at the Toolbox here have had kids in here would rather be here than on their iPads, and on their gaming devices. How do we do this? We need help. We need sponsors. We need support. We need men to step up and be men. Yes, we need men to step up and be men. Be father figures, be mentors, be leaders, teach leadership, teach responsibility, teach discipline. That's our goals this year. And we're going to do it. So, and we're not restricted to time on the new podcast, and so we're going to go till I'm done talking. And today I'm not done talking. So you know I'm here to help, to spread the word, to do what I can do to improve your situation at home when you call a service company, and that service company comes out to give you their service, their intelligence, their knowledge, to do a good job for you and provide you with the service you hope you are going to pay for. And believe me, when I talk about, please excuse me, when I talk about all of this, when you go to buy a product anywhere, be it for your automobile, for your house, for a friend, whatever the case may be, you need details. Because buying appliances, for example, buying plumbing products, for example, when you go to the box stores on a Saturday, Mr. Handyman, Mr. Husband, and you're gonna attempt to put a new lavatory faucet on. First of all, you got to know, is it a 4-inch or is it an 8-inch? You need to measure it. You need to take a picture of it before you go to the store. You need to look under it, make sure you have all the parts, because typically a store, most handyman do-it-yourselfers will make 2 trips to the store to do a project. Am I right or wrong there, Richard? What do you think?
Yeah, I would say, because a lot of people don't know what they're doing.
The biggest challenge I face as a professional installer, which I proclaim to be, is being prepared when I go out to a job. because I don't want to leave until it's finished.
Well, then it'll cost you time and money.
So I've got to cover the electrical. I've got to cover the plumbing. I've got to cover sheet metal. I've got to cover the ductwork. I've got to cover every facet, every aspect of the job before I go out there. Now, how do you do that if you don't know what he's doing? It don't happen. Typically, a do-it-yourselfer or a service person will go out to your house, see what's wrong, then have to come back with the proper parts, which in today's world is very understandable because there's no way, for example, happened 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine called a plumber that I recommended to go out and do some repair work on various lavatory faucets and the commodes. The wax ring, the seal had broken and there was some water leaking out from underneath the water closet or commode, call it what you want. You know, he had to go out, get the parts, and, assess the situation, assess what the valves were, what brand they were, because you can't just go out and get a universal washer or a universal insert or a cartridge. You have to know what the product is. And therefore, you need a plumber that has knowledge of various product lines, various meaning all of them. And that's rare this day and time because of the age of the technician, the age of the plumber. If he's not above 50, he probably don't know much, unfortunately. And I'm sorry to say that, but now there's some young, good plumbers. Don't misunderstand me. There's some well-trained plumbers out there, but they're few and far between because we're not teaching the way we should. ER Plumbing, for example, David Parker, great educational plumbing company. When I say educational, they've got an apprenticeship program that people can go in there. They do nothing but service. You'll pay for it, pay dearly, but you'll get what you pay for. So beware. And what we're doing here at the Toolbox, Put Tools in Schools, is raising the awareness of the opportunities. So, a lady came in here to visit the Toolbox 2 weeks ago, and she was saying, I need to come in here and learn about plumbing. I says, what, you got a problem? She said, yes, I do. At night, my commode acts like it's flushing. I said, I know exactly what's wrong. Come here, let me show you. I've got a commode out here in the toolbox. I took her over and showed her the flapper. I said, here's your problem right here. She said, really? And I said, take you all of 5 minutes. All you need to do is see this little chain, disconnect this little chain off the lever, put a new one on, and it slides right over this, slides right. And then I went into the cabinet, which I have some, and gave her a new flapper. And I told her, I said, here, I just showed you what's wrong. Now get him was her husband, standing right beside her. I said, get him and yourself to go in there and both of y'all learn how to replace a flapper. Or you can pay a plumber $120 to $150 or more dollars to come to your house, do a service call, and fix your flapper. But it's going to cost you about $150. And this costs less than $5. So here, Merry Christmas. It's doing my job, just doing my job. It's what I do here at the Toolbox and my life. So I enjoy it. I enjoy giving back what I have. I want to give back more, and we're going to do just that. Here at the Toolbox Podcast Studio, once again, we got great shows coming. We got them around. What I've been working for with the Toolbox here is getting my studio up. You've heard me gripe and complain and fuss about this, but we've come a long way. We've done a deep dive on the system here at the podcast studio and we got all the facts. We're just putting it all together, getting our bird dogs working, getting our cameras working. What we have here is a first-class, top-drawer studio with technology that's equal to most TV stations. But the problem is we just hadn't figured out how to use it all yet. But we're on our way. Thank you, Rob Gaskey, for helping us. We appreciate it. He's a long-timer in the radio industry in Charlotte, audio, visual, and doing a great job for us here. Mark Borja, I want to thank him. He's done well, too. Technology, it's great when it works. Now we got to work on our fiber optics feed. Now, I know y'all probably don't care about all this, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. Give you an update of where we're at and what we're doing here at the Toolbox. We need your support. We need your support to help kids move into the trades, learn how to use their hands, their mind, critical thinking, fix things, repair things, come up to speed on self-confidence. We got a mental health issue. This really affects mental health, and it truly does. If we give kids an opportunity, something to do with their hands and their mind, take them off the screens, I think we'd fix a lot of our problems. I really do. I know we would. I've already seen it. I might be old, but I ain't dead. I got a lot of life left in me, and I got a lot to do. And we've got a lot to do together as a community. Happy New Year. Come to school. Kids are getting back in school. We need to really pay attention to it. And if you hadn't been to a school lately, you need to go. You need to check it out.
I don't think I'd want to.
I don't want to be negative this year. I want to look at this year as a new opportunity to make a big difference and go out into the community and address the issues that we have. And we've got some heavy-duty issues. In Charlotte, North Carolina, oh my gosh, we got work to do. So let's do it. Now, once again, this show I've talked about, let me see my little list here. Oh, I want to remind you too, remodeling. Remodeling's big in Charlotte. We all know that. Charlotte's a deep pocket market, meaning there's a lot of money in Charlotte. A lot of remodelers in Charlotte too. Not enough to keep up with the pace of quality and professionalism, but I tout NARI a great deal. NARI, the National Association of the Remodeling Industry of Greater Charlotte. NARI's been here since 1990, October of 1990. That's over 30 years now. 30 years of growing with professionalism and education in the remodeling industry. And if you want to move into the professional remodeling arena with other professionals, you may want to join NARI, or at least check them out. This month, they're not having a meeting. They're having Pins for Kids. Matter of fact, that's this Thursday or Friday, I do believe, at the Bowl Era at Park Road.
Park Lanes.
Park Lanes, the old Park Lanes. They're doing
behind the Taco Bell.
Yeah, they're doing a fundraiser there. They do it every August. This year's no different. That's NARI Charlotte, NARICharlotte.com. Check them out. That's a great organization. They meet once a month, typically on the last Thursday of every month, between 5:30 and 8 o'clock, somewhere at a vendor, supplier, wherever. And it's a great organization, one that I recommend loudly.
You going bowling, Ray?
No, I'm not going to bowl this year. I've got too much work to do here at the toolbox and other things.
Did you bowl last year?
I sure did.
Cool.
Sure. Me and Mary.
Bowling's fun. I
like to bowl. It's a lot of fun and it's enjoyable and keeps you young and healthy too. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yes, good deal. I had a lot of fun. Bowled pretty good too. Surprisingly. Whoa. Oh, I can still pick up a 16-pound ball and throw it down that wood.
A little spin on it?
Yeah. I'm not a spinner. I try to get it straight because that's the best I can do. I used to bowl as a kid. When I was a child, we would go bowling Saturday mornings. We were on a league.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, my mother made sure we got to bowl.
That's fun.
My father and mother were on bowling leagues coming up. Bowling was very popular when I grew up.
I feel like it's popular, but I feel like it's coming back some. I think for a while it was down and out, but I think people are enjoying that more and trying to get away from technology.
Well, I hope so, but at any rate.
I guess it depends on who you talk to, though.
Yep. Back to the task at hand, and I was talking about appliances up early in the show because the holiday months are upon us. And I think that I just wanted to throw out the reminder that if you're looking to improve, buy new products, be it plumbing, be it appliances, and right now, Queen City Home Store's got some great Labor Day blowout sales going on in Electrolux, LG, GE, Whirlpool, various packages, KitchenAid, appliances. They've got you covered on appliances, so check them out. Give them a call at 704-391-6000 or online, queencityonline.com. Some great buys, hot buys. So check them out. You can shop by the category online. Right now they got free installation on KitchenAid dishwashers, limited time only. Check them out. Like I said, they got flexible financing, price match guarantee. It's just a great store. Been in Charlotte since 1952. Check them out. And I'm here to help them. When I say I'm here to help them, I'll support Queen City tremendously, as I do every week. And they refer me for installation of various product lines, and mostly kitchen ventilation, which I thoroughly enjoy doing. It's a lot of fun. Keeps me young. Yeah. Keeps my tape measure reading on target. Yeah. Talking about tape measure reading. I'm looking for a sponsor. Tape measures sponsor. I'm going to start a campaign around tape measures. Now, does that sound crazy or
Make
what?
tape measures great again.
Well, they are great. They've never quit being great. We're just not teaching. And it seems like I'm a little nuts about it. You know, you hear me a lot talk about tape measure reading.
That's your trigger word, tape measures.
Yeah. Well, when I had a 34-year-old man in here Saturday, now is that odd or even?
The two?
Yeah.
That is even.
He didn't know that. Odd or even?
Odd.
He didn't know that. I'm serious. Now you're thinking, my God, what was wrong with him? He hasn't been exposed. He hasn't been mentored. He hasn't been taught.
That's like elementary school. They teach that. At least it was when I was there.
The things you need to know will appall you. I'm serious. It's really bad out there, folks. Not every child. I'm not saying all kids. No. But the vast majority are so far behind.
Somebody went viral on the internet. I think it was a teacher that was crying about seniors not being able to read and write.
That has gone absolutely
Bonkers.
viral, and really it's just touched so many people. But the reality is it worked in the fact of raising the awareness of the problems we're having in our school systems, not just in Charlotte. It's everywhere.
I think it's nuts that you can't get lower than a 50 now. That's crazy.
Our discipline, our whole system's run amok. Okay, we can't.
People lost their damn mind. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, it's gone crazy. But look, listen. I'm not here to say I have all the answers, but I've got some. We have some, not me by myself, because you can't do it by yourself. It takes a village. We've got some serious issues around critical thinking in our country today. We're lacking discipline in our schools. We're lacking guidance. We're lacking leadership. It's leadership that I see missing completely, utterly, completely. Leadership is missing. And I see it in every sector that I go into in my life right now, the lack of leadership. Women are controlling most of the companies now, most of the corporate situations. Say what you want. But in the construction arena, we've got a lot of influx of females, which is fine. Or is it? I don't know. Is it? I think the jury's out on that one. Because where have the men gone? Here's another issue. Where have the men gone? When are they going to step up and be men and guide, lead, manage? We got a problem. We're making these young men today, these young boys, they need more men in their lives. Now, I know I preach this every week, but when I see them, when I talk to them, and fortunately, and I'm not bragging about this at all, but I've got other people bringing kids to me so I can talk to them and talk to them straight about reality. Not everyone's willing to step up. They fear talking the truth. They fear it. They won't speak the truth. Well, I will, and I do, and I will continue to do so. But it's for one great purpose, and that's to change the realities in which we're living today and help these kids find a better way. Find a better way of life, find a better way with opportunity. And it's not hard. It's real simple. All you have to do is teach and show them the way. It's just what they're learning in our education system is not stimulating them in the proper way. God made us all creators. God made us all artists, creators, innovators, geniuses. But we're not tapping into that with our children. We're not tapping into their creativity, their sense of greatness, self-confidence. We're not teaching that. We're teaching them to fear to fail. Wrong. Don't fear to fail. Fail to learn. It's really reached critical mass problem, big time. And we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it in the Charlotte metro area. Tape measures. Now, it's something as simple as tape measures. Something as simple as that, but so effective, because everything we do needs to be planned for and measured. Everything. You don't think of it that way, do you? Have you ever given that thought, Richard?
Not really, but you're right.
Here in the past 2 months, I've really paid attention to it. How critical that one little learning process is. Tape measure reading. Give it some thought, because I have. Everybody can count to 100, but they don't know what 7/8 are, or 14/16. Do you know what 14/16 is? What's 14/16, Riston?
14/16
7/8.
simplified by 2, divided by 2.
Yeah, 7/8. Now, do you know what 7/8 is? 3/4, 6/8. 3/4.
Mm-hmm.
Now Saturday we did an exercise with some young adults. They didn't know what we're talking about. Now, see, so I know
That's a lot of them.
I know this problems exist. And then when I go to career days and I talk to teachers, and teachers can't read a tape measure, something's wrong. Toolbox. PutToolsInSchools.org. Check us out. I'm going on the website today to attempt some updates and edits. I'm learning constantly. I'm going to learn about website app editing. I'm going to learn about more social media. We're going to learn how to change this school system to a better place for our kids, learning, advancing, creating, imagination, artistry, craftsmanship, drive, motivation, all those things that our kids need, and play, because everything I just mentioned can be very playful and a lot of fun. Creating is fun. It's a joy. And there's so much technology we can use to create and have fun with as well. I want students to get in this podcast studio, learn this technology, learn what they can do. We've got some top drawer tools in this podcast studio. We've got 3 TV quality cameras, 3 TV quality cameras capable of TV quality productions. I want children to learn how to use that. If they like technology, we have opportunities here at the Toolbox. Check us out, PutToolsInSchools.org. Check Queen City Appliance, Queen City Home Store. Not appliance anymore. They got you covered when it comes to home. Queen City Home Store, ABS Insulating, Kilo.biz, ABSinsulating.com, YourFlooringTeam.com, our sponsors. Thank you so much for your support. Next week, we've got a financial planner and adoption discussion coming up. If you're looking to adopt, you might tune in. Week after next, Dr. Cami Benton's back in the studio with us. Hopefully, we're going to develop a podcast, a weekly or monthly podcast with Dr. Benton, have her on the program to discuss health as well. She's questioned me about possibly doing a podcast in this studio, and we're also up for rent. When I say up for rent, if you're looking to produce your own podcast, we have a studio here we can work together on. That's coming. We just had to get to a point to where I can produce. I can come in here and sit and produce a show. And we're almost there, and we're going to do that. That's the podcast studio at the Toolbox. So join us every Tuesday morning as we go live with some fact around. Well, I know I talk a lot about put tools in schools. I know I talk a lot about the problems we're facing. But we've got to face them. We've got to deal with them. And so, hey, every Tuesday you're going to hear a little bit. I'll try to keep it under control. But this year's an exciting year ahead of us, a school year. It's about your house. It's about our students. It's about our lives and our homes in Charlotte. Charlotte's going crazy. 157 people move here every day. Let's keep up with it. Let's keep up with the pace. Let's keep up with our school systems, be it private, chartered, or otherwise, homeschool networks. PutToolsInSchools.org. Let's make some things happen this year, folks. Let's improve that home the correct way. Let's find service, great professional industry people to come in, take care of what they're supposed to, and let's train them up, get them right. That's PutToolsInSchools.org, About Your House Radio. Although it's not radio anymore, it's just About Your House podcast. New podcast coming. Tool Talk at the Toolbox. We're developing a relationship with Aspire Trade High School. Hopefully getting kids in here that are in the trades, working at high school level, in the trades, get them in here and to share their opportunities and share their world with you and other students in the Charlotte metro area. So tune in right here. YouTube Live, Facebook Live, every Tuesday, 10 o'clock to noon, roughly. It'll be shorter. Sometimes it'll be longer. Speaking of which, we've been on the show now for going on an hour and 20 minutes. So they'll be anywhere from an hour to 2 hours long, consistently. And we will bring you up to date on Put Tools in Schools. And by the way, we've got 3 schools so far: East Mecklenburg High School, McClintock Middle School, and Mint Hill Middle School. All 3 schools have signed up for a Trades Career Day. We're excited about it. We need to get industry up to the plate, and help us engage these kids. They're on the events tab, the events calendar on the website, PutToolsInSchools.org. Please consider volunteering. Please consider donating money. We need financial support. When we bring kids in here, we must feed them. It's part of the rule. We must feed them, because some of these kids don't eat correctly at home. So we need to make sure they eat while they're here. So we need support. We're doing it. Help us do it. That's PutToolsInSchools.org. And I'm going to sign out right now. Next Saturday, once again, next Tuesday, we're going to be talking financial planning and adoption. Week after next, on the 8th, Dr. Cami Benton, MD, in the house, talking health as well. Going to be a great show. Hadn't had her on the show for well over a year. She's been a very busy lady out in the medical industry, out in the medical arena. A lot of updates coming your way. That's Dr. Cami Benton on September 8th, right here on About Your House. So tune in every Tuesday. We're here. Facebook Live, YouTube Live on About Your House Radio and the Put Tools in Schools channel. Please like us, subscribe. Give us some numbers here. Help us increase our listeners, and just do what we do in social media. A lot more is to come. I'm excited about the new school year. We'll see what we can do, and some students, we can change some lives. So help us. PutToolsInSchools.org. We'll see you right here next week on more About Your House.